I have been with Healthcare Partners for probably 2 years, and my experience has been absolutely terrific. When I go to a specialist, my records follow me. There's no need to actually provide any additional information. They know what's happened in my primary care doctor's office.
Become a healthcare partner today. Medicare open enrollment starts October 15 and ends December 7. Learn more about how you can become a healthcare partner at hcpnv.com.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Dr. Richter from Compassionate Care for Women, providing personalized quality health care for women at every stage of life.
Tonight on News 46, 2 animals are lost to a structure fire. Golden Gaming rings in the new year with some VIPs. And meet Nye County Assessor candidate Dave Roberts. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, January 2nd, 2014. I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46. Well, 2 dogs have been confirmed lost and a woman's house completely destroyed after fire raged through her multi-structural home on Mercury Street, located on the north side of town yesterday.
We had a fire that actually encompassed a number of different types of structures. There was single-wide manufactured structures, double-wide, and also wood frame structures that made up together. They were tied in such a fashion it formed one residence. However, the makeup and the way that the materials were distributed added to our fuel and fire loads yesterday. So when the fire initiated in one of the single-wide trailers, it quickly grew in intensity and took out a lot of the material that had been aged over the sun and such for over a period of years. The sole occupant was safely evacuated from the residence. However, 2 pets were lost. Upon our arrival, we found that the fire conditions had grown in such a quick fashion that we went to a defensive exterior approach to it. Large volumes of water, short periods of time on the fire. We protected the attached structures, which consisted again of manufactured and fixed wood frame. And overall, it was a successful operation, but very challenging for the fire department.
So only one person lived in these homes?
Yes, one person. And we have truly been unable to even calculate the square footage that was involved in the fire. There's a number of courtyards. We had arcing pedestal, so we had to have Valley Electric come in very early stages, and they secured power to the property because we were unable to control it on the scene. Water was an issue. We utilized all of our water tenders and created a shuttle running from a hydrant located at Blag. And so a lot of logistics were encountered, but again, there was no injuries to any of the firefighters, and overall a successful operation.
So 2 animals were lost inside the home, I'm assuming dogs?
There was actually 3 animals known to be in the structure. About midway, one of the animals was viewed in the area of the structure and actually came out. It appeared to be unharmed, but 2 were unaccounted for as of last evening.
And then, do you know the cause of the fire at this point?
The Deputy State Fire Marshal came out and assisted us, and it appears it's electrical related, possibly related to the use of a space heater. As we've talked about on numerous occasions, daisy chains and using extension cords, things like that, with numerous space heaters, has caused a lot of electrical issues and probably had an arcing effect.
So possibly a couple space heaters connected together?
It's my understanding that the space heater in question was attached to an extension cord, and there possibly had been some circuit breakers tripping as a result of that type of usage. I can't tell you exactly what else was tied onto that extension cord due to the severe fire damage in that area.
Do you know why the structure was so well involved by the time that you guys arrived?
It was mostly fire load, a huge fire load, older structures. When the occupant first discovered the fire, she indicated it was heavy fire already, and it was a matter of a few minutes, not even a few minutes, but probably up to a minute before when she heard the popping sound to her investigation, when she found the room entirely engulfed.
A rider was injured on Old Spanish Trail Highway yesterday after falling from her horse. However, after all medical units arrived, she decided to decline transportation.
We were dispatched for a report of a female who had fallen from a horse and was unconscious, unresponsive. It was somewhat vague in the early stages of the incident as to where this person was located, but by using ping technology, Clark County had determined that the cell phone calls were coming from approximately 6 miles on Tacoma Road and 1.3 to 1.7 miles out on the desert floor south. So we were requested into going with Clark County. Metro and I were the first ones on location. A Metro officer went out into the desert floor in search of the female had fallen from the horse. Other resources started coming in from both Clark County and Prompt Fire Rescue. They were also sent out to the desert to search the area. Eventually she was located, but based on the early reports, Mercy Air 21 was launched to the scene because of the status of being unconscious, unresponsive. They were also on location on Tacoma Road, so we had to block the roadway from those RVers returning from Dumont Dunes. So it was a large-scale operation, but ended up being a situation where the female then declined any medical assistance and the resources were released.
So she decided after all the resources were there that she was okay, even though for a period of time she was unconscious.
That's correct, yes, and she did display injury, but if they're conscious, alert, and oriented, patients have the right to refuse any medical treatment, and that's exactly what happened in this particular case.
She was out riding with a group of other horseback riders?
It's my understanding there was at least several other horseback riders with her.
Ivan Rubio was sentenced to a maximum of 20 years in prison this week, stemming from his 2010 arrest for trafficking cocaine. Rubio was arrested on August 24, 2010, when deputies found between 14 to 28 grams of cocaine in his possession. Well, authorities have taken into custody a California man who they believe killed a Roman Catholic priest in a church rectory. The suspect, Gary Lee Bullock, was arrested this afternoon in the southern part of Humboldt County near Garberville. Authorities said they still don't have an explanation as to why he might have killed the Reverend Eric Freed, though they do hope residents can rest easier knowing he's no longer at large. Freed's body was found at St. Bernard Church in the coastal northern California city after suffering blunt force trauma following a violent struggle. Well, folks, keep it here because we're going to have more local news for you after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Albertsons. You're in for something fresh.
Welcome back to News 46. Golden Gaming celebrated the new year at all 3 properties with hundreds of their loyal customers.
We have our VIP party, our annual New Year's Eve celebration. We have 250 of our most loyal guests tonight, and we have one event here and then 2 at Lakeside. We have a 4 p.m. and a 7 p.m. dinner at Lakeside and then one here at 5, so it's good.
Busy night for Golden Gaming here in the Pahrump Valley.
It is. It's a very busy night. We have entertainment at Lakeside as well as the stage bar here at the Nugget. So we also have a taxi service in town now. Welcome to Pahrump, so that's good. Everyone can be safe tonight. And we're just out enjoying another year, you know.
Let's talk about 2013 for Golden Gaming. You guys have just been picking up and gaining some momentum, actually. Let's talk a little bit about what changes that you had last year and what's coming up in the new year.
Well, I mean, we've had some positive. You know, we try to continually improve each year. So we get the feedback from the guests, and we have excellent team members. We've got a great staff this year. I feel like we've improved on our team members this year. We've had some, which has helped us, and we just look to continually improve each month. So and then next year we have the Holiday Inn coming online, which we're excited about as well.
And Lakeside, the complete makeover and the unveiling of how Lakeside changed the name and also a little bit of some of the look. Right,
yeah, we remodeled, everything. We just redid the sports book at Gold Town. We did a players club. And, we're just continually updating and
So you have some new things that you guys have started, which is one of them is very popular, the kiosk. When I come in here, I see a lot of people standing around that machine there. And tell everybody what that is.
Well, we brought the kiosk back for Goldtown Lakeside and now at the Nugget. We're kind of playing with it to kind of test it out over the first week. We may adjust it as far as the points, but you come in, earn 250 points, you get a swipe, and then you can earn free play, cash, comps, all the way down the line.
Tonight, you have all the people in the packed room right here, of course, and everybody's ready with party favors and hats. Little Elmo and the Cosmos up there on the stage bar, lots of fun.
Correct, Little Elmo from 8 to 1, and we're going to be doing the balloon drop at all 3 properties, and just having a good time tonight.
Some of the things that you want to talk about coming up in 2014, or anything you want to say to the community out there for the new year?
I just want to thank everyone for, again, for your support for the year, and just thank you for being loyal to Golden Casino Group. And we look forward to a great 2014. Continue to support the community, and just thank you. Just thank you to everyone.
And News 46 caught up with Nye County Assessor candidate Dave Roberts at a local food drive held by Karen Jackson and K9 Radio.
I decided to run because, well, I had a few people ask me if I was interested, and I looked at the position and looked at it and said, well, that's something I can definitely do. My skill set is managing people and running an office. Currently, that's basically what I do. I do it in a very glorified manner, very fancy title, but bottom line is get people to do their job.
What do you do now?
I work for a company called Exotics Racing in Las Vegas. My title is lead racing instructor, and my job requires me to train all the instructors and then interface with the customer service department. All our cars have video cameras, so if we have a customer complains about an instructor, I review it, see if we didn't do our job right, and then recommend from there. If we did our job right, I go from there. Second part, if we didn't do our job right, I make corrective action with the instructors. So we always strive to get better.
You're looking at the position that Shirley Madsen currently holds, right?
That's correct.
And what attracted you to that position?
Again, I was approached by some folks when Shirley had announced at one time that she was not going to rerun. So that's when I started looking for it and putting the ball in motion. I'm not sure where she's standing on that now, but once I decided I want to go for something, and we're going.
How many years have you been in your current position?
My current position, I've been there 3 years.
And have you done any other political kind of
on a county or state level, no. And within various clubs, service clubs, and so forth, yes.
How long have you been a resident of Prump?
Prump, we've been a resident since 2006. I actually started working out here in 2008 for the original owner of the Spring Mountain with Rupert Bragg Smith.
And you were previously in Las Vegas?
Previously in Las Vegas.
And so how can people find out more about your campaign and about you, or are you going to have any upcoming meet and greets?
We're going to have some meet and greets planned. We're getting that stuff together, and we're working on getting our website together, and it'll be out hopefully fairly soon.
On a personal note, you're with Judge Kim Wonker.
Judge Kim Wonker. We've been together. We met when we were both undergrads at the University of Nebraska. That's how we met, and been together since.
The Pahrump Town Board voted to approve a grant submittal plan to the Nevada Division of State Parks for the proposed Kellogg Park project. The state entity recently announced the availability of more than $2,700,000 in federal funds for local parks, recreation improvement, and acquisition projects. They hope to get $150,000 from the grant and have the town match the funds. The town board members also approved moving forward with the Last Chance Park on the northwest side of town near Bell Vista and Banovich Streets, which would be connected by horse and bike trails. Well, folks, keep it here because we're going to have more local news for you after these messages.